His life was changed and made new when an angel made his dream come true. And now he brings his dream to you. In a spoonful Paolo.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Spoonful of Paolo! Okay, so while we were in New York City, I was able to meet up with the legendary actress Marsha Mason. Now, this 4-time Oscar nominee and 2-time Golden Globe winner has starred in many classic films such as The Goodbye Girl, Cinderella Liberty, Chapter 2, and one of my favorites, Drop Dead Fred. Now, we had a great lunch at Bond 45, a fabulous restaurant in New York City, where we were able to talk about her amazing career and see what she's been up to. So enjoy. All right, so here we are with Marsha Mason. Hi! Oh my God, I'm such an honor. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
We're at Bond 45, which is an amazing restaurant. We're full of lots of food. I'm excited.
Beautiful.
It's really an honor to be sitting here with you.
Well, thank you.
I mean, I just don't even know what to say. But okay, so just
well, do say something.
Well, I'm gonna say that I love you, and I think you're just a talented, amazing, beautiful person, and it's so great being here.
That's really kind.
You know, I was just the other day. I was rewatching The Goodbye Girl, just it was 3 days ago, and as I was watching it, I kept thinking, how did you, Marsha, deal with all of that? The 4 Oscar nominations, the 2 Golden Globe wins. How was that for you? I mean, were you prepared for all of that?
No, I wasn't. And it's interesting because often I think about it. I think, you know, I was so used to struggle because as a struggling actress, you know, so that's familiar. But suddenly when it happened so fast and so big like that, I wasn't really prepared. And I remember I have a favorite story. I was living in Los Angeles at the time with my husband, Neil Simon, who wrote The Goodbye Girl. And we had been in Westwood, and we were going to lunch. And we came out of the restaurant, and across the street were 2 theaters, movie houses. And one was playing The Goodbye Girl. And Neil said to me, well, look at that line. And when I looked, I didn't see any line at the box office. They were around the corner and down the block and a long way. And it so threw me, I burst into tears.
Oh my God.
And he said, come on, we're going to cross the street and you're going to walk past that line, because I couldn't handle it. I was so overwhelmed that was that successful of a picture. And that was even before I got nominated. But I mean, it was really interesting. But I think being married to him and raising his 2 girls and everything was a kind of good balance in a way.
I mean, I was going to ask you, is it hard as an actress, being married to the one who wrote all the movies? Because usually as an actress, you want to make it your character, but then you have someone who wrote it, and maybe they have a different way to portray this character.
Right. No, strangely enough, I think the thing why the movies were so successful that we did together was because we had a really terrific, first-rate professional relationship. And I think it was because we mutually respected each other's talent. So a lot of married couples can't work together, but we, on the other hand, had a very, very fine, good relationship. And oftentimes when Neil was working on material, he would give me scenes to read and ask me to critique them, or how did I feel about it. Then other times, sometimes he wouldn't. He would wait until he finished a whole act, or he would wait until he finished the whole material. And sometimes I was in them, and sometimes I wasn't. But there was one instance, for example, with The Cheap Detective, where Lily Tomlin was scheduled to play a role, and for some reason her one-woman show, the dates got canceled or mixed up or whatever. So suddenly they were very close to starting production, and she had to bow out. And I said, let me do it. And Neil said, no. He said, I don't think you could do this part. I said, I'll read for you and Ray or whoever was all involved. And I did. I read for them and wound up doing it.
That is amazing. I'm curious, when's the last time you saw one of your movies like The Goodbye Girl? When's the last time you saw it? I mean, you have it on DVD.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen
no.
it? I'm going to come over and we're going to watch it together.
No,
because
no.
I was watching with Patrick and we had so much fun watching it. Just like you, your energy, your character, how you portray it. So much fun.
Oh, thank you.
And then I know you moved to New Mexico and you've been there for about 18 years, 17 years?
No more, I guess now.
What made you go to New Mexico?
I hit a certain kind of phase in my career. The business had changed enormously. Everything was very youth-oriented. I was now divorced. Los Angeles is a funny town, I think, for single people. I just thought to myself, I really need to shake everything up. It was sort of, the way I sort of expressed it to myself is it's sort of like I had all the pieces in a kaleidoscopic picture and I decided I'd twist it and
there's
just
a quote
throw it
you
up.
said in one interview and I actually wrote it just really, I got the chills from reading it. And this is what you said. You said, I realized a lot of my own personal sense of identity was wrapped up in my work. So moving to New Mexico, what was really wonderful was I discovered the work is the work and Marsha is Marsha and a lot of various pieces make up Marsha. I mean, that happens to all of us. And when I read that, I got the chills because I'm like, we all kind of get wrapped up in our work. But what you did was so brilliant and smart that you had the courage to leave it to rediscover yourself.
Yeah, it was. Sometimes courageous can be foolish.
Sometimes, but in this case for you, it worked out better for you.
Yeah.
Because then you have a farm.
That's right. And I learned to be an entrepreneur, a businesswoman, a manager, a farmer. I didn't plan it when I moved to New Mexico. I didn't know I was going to become a farmer. It just sort of evolved. So, and then I became, kind of really intrigued with all organic and biodynamic farming, and then I wound up being a commissioner for the New Mexico Organic Commodities Commission and all kinds of stuff. But what it did is the same thing that car racing did. I was exposed and dealing with a lot of different segments of the social economic world that I never would have normally met if I stayed in Los Angeles and only did the movies.
I sit here talking to you and I think, you've been in this business for so many years. You know it all, directing, actress. But is there anything else that you still want to learn? Because I think you know it all, but what else? You're the teacher. Is there anything else you would want to learn or?
Another language?
Really? What language would that be?
I want to learn Spanish and French. I know a little Spanish because of the men that I deal with, but I'd like to, because I want to just learn things that'll keep my brain active,
Yeah.
And I think challenging oneself with any sort of new discipline is really important. It's why I loved the directing, because every director should act once.
I hear that all the time.
Every actor should direct once, and a writer too. So that was the other thing. I think writing a memoir was really very helpful also. It taught me a lot about the respect for the written word, aside from the fact that I really always had that for the playwright, and especially for Neil, whose material I thought was pretty spectacular.
Wow.
So.
That's so good. And I know now you're in the middle on ABC, and I just watched your episode a couple weeks ago, which is so cool because you played Patricia Heaton's mother.
Yeah.
But what's ironic is that she played your character in The Goodbye Girl in the remake, I think in 2004.
Right.
I mean, do you guys talk about that on set? Like, you played me? You don't? What? You should be giving her tips. No. You're the genius. And so is she. She's a terrific actress. But that's so, are you having fun in the middle? Like,
It's a great group of people, and it's lovely because they'll call me up and say, we're going to write this material, and are you available? And I'll say yes, and then I go and we shoot it, and I always have such a wonderful time. And it's great. I love working, so it's terrific.
When you look at your career, what are you most proud of? Like, what would it be? What's one thing that stays close to you that you could say, I am so proud of doing what?
I think I'm just really proud of my work in general. And I think what I like the most is that however, and I'm not really sure why or how it happens, but people tend to be able to identify somehow with their emotional life through whatever the character is that I'm portraying. And so I always just try to be really, really truthful to the character. That to me is and to be empathetic. I think
Yeah,
in some
that's the
ways what makes acting so important, and everybody should take an acting class in an odd way, because it does teach you to be empathetic to everything around
You
you.
learn more about yourself, whether you're an actor or not. It's
That's
true.
true.
It's so great sitting here with you because she's not a diva. Like, she's really sweet.
I'm a diva
And
with a
I want to
little
know,
d.
why is there, like, you don't have a ring on your finger? Like, you're beautiful, you're talented, you're missing a ring, hello. So we'll talk about that after. But you really are just an inspiration to all of us. And like, for
Aw,
me,
thanks.
sitting here with you just inspires me, just with your whole career and where you are today. And I just want to say continued success to you, because
Oh,
you
thank
deserve
you.
so much. I mean, I'm sitting with a 4-time Oscar nominee, 2 Golden Globes. She was nominated 3 times, but 2 Golden Globes. Hello. And there's a lot more. There's a lot more in that award list. But just, I want to say thank you so much for being on our
My
show.
pleasure.
It's a true pleasure and an honor. It really
My
is.
pleasure.
Now we're gonna eat now. We're gonna eat now. So go away.
Yes,
Bye everyone.
go
We'll see you next
away.
time at Spoonful of Paolo. Yay! Bon appetit. Thank you so
Great.
much.
Oh, that was fun.
You're-
I-